It's freezing outside, and my computer froze. This is take 2. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching the best betting show ever. Art laughing in the background, Joe nodding his head. Want to make some money? That's what the show is all about. There you go. NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL. But we got to start with where is the money going? Art DiCesare. It's Tuesday. We didn't speak to you. I'm guessing the book's annihilated on Sunday.
Yeah, when you look at the NFL was really good for us. I mean, you could just take the Dolphins, Jets, and the Saints, and that was good enough for us to have a really nice day. It's funny, the Texan game landing on 1 was actually not good. We really needed them to land that 2-point conversion. It didn't happen. Obviously, not every game's going to go your way, but really good Sunday for us. Yeah, but listen, really good Sunday for us. Back-to-back Sundays where we're really, at the end of the day looking like, man, we did good today.
How about last night, though, Art? It was interesting because we saw Philadelphia early in the week to be that 2.5 teaser opportunity. And then, as we got to Friday, Saturday, and then it was, boy, those were all gone. No more 2.5s. It almost went on. It felt like it was going to go as a pick 'em last night. How did the books do in that monstrosity of a game?
Yeah, Joe, that was an interesting game because we were 3 for a minute and then pretty much sat 2.5. And then I think when people realized the Philadelphia injury guys that were coming back on defense, the Sharps really started to hit Philly. The Sharps don't hit Green Bay as much. They're kind of, wait and see approach with Green Bay. We pretty much dealt that game yesterday at pick -105 both ways. So we saw really good two-way action on that game for the last 3 or 4 hours leading up to kickoff. As we spoke before the show, there were some shops that closed Philly -1 at kickoff. So Philly had flipped to the favorite in some spots. So for us, it wasn't a make or break type of game because of the -105 we were dealing on both sides. And listen, there are going to be plenty of people who got early in on 3 and then might just come back taking Green Bay, pick them. There's a lot of people who play that way. So you see that often.
Art DiCesare joining us like always. Guys, hit that like button. Please, 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 please. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and comment. I will be reading all the comments while playing poker. My poker has not gone well so far. It's been one bad beat after another. I was 3 away from the money last night. I got it all in with King Queen, with King on the board. Called me with Jack King. Hit the jack on the turn. Art cares. Art,
I agree. Honestly, Joe, is there anything more boring than listening to a guy's poker hands?
Oh, man, I had
it's not like I went through all of them.
No one cares.
Then he hit this, then I hit this, then I bet, then he 3-bet, then I 4-betted.
Suited ace king, and then the guy had 2-3, and it's like,
he flopped the nuts.
You know what I think about those people, Prez?
Nobody cares.
That's what we think of that. Oh God.
So great. Oh, I got to play this segment to the people who are going to bitch me out, telling me their bloody stories. Anyway, well said, Joe. Well said. And I do keep that shit to a bare minimum. It's not like I've been updating you guys.
No, it's true.
Okay. Art DiCesare, the money this weekend. You want to talk Bears, Vikings, Panthers, Falcons, and the Packers and the Giants. And just to let you guys know, in our fade or not fade section, we're going to look at the Packers, the Bills, teams, we might have thought were good. Are they? Aren't they? We'll find out. Art, where's the money going in those 3 games?
Sure. Bears at Vikings. Feels like a really good spot for Minnesota. Listen, the Bears, they've probably overachieved and they've pulled some games out maybe they shouldn't have. Now they go on the road in the division. Sharps lead 2.5 early with Minnesota. We're now 3 on that game. Seemed pretty good over money as well. We opened 47, now 48.5 on that game. Carolina at Atlanta. Carolina, it's impossible to know what they are. I guess if they're a dog, they're a good play. If they're a favorite, they're a terrible play. They laid 3 with Atlanta. It got to 4. They took 4 with Carolina. We're now settled in the middle at 3.5. That has seen good two-way action. And now you got Packers at Giants. Obviously, the Giants fire the coach. Start in concussion protocol. The Packers come off a stinker on Monday night. All that led to money and a half. So Green Bay is now a 7.5-point road favorite, but there's going to be plenty of public stuff with Green Bay on the money lines and the teasers. So don't forget that, especially in the 7.5 range now. They could use 6-point teasers to get it to 1.5.
Yeah, I wonder, you're going to get one of those, the fired coaches bump here. Like, if I'm the Giants, Art, like, Jameis Winston's got to start. Like, Russell Wilson cannot. That poor fan, you can't win with Russell Wilson, and everybody knows it. What's the point of having Jameis Winston on the roster if you don't play him here, no?
I totally agree. I think Jameis has gotten railroaded in his career. There are bad quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah. This guy's not had another chance to start. It seems ridiculous. I felt he should have started in New Orleans. I don't know. I'm with you, though, and I'm a lifelong Giant fan. Russell Wilson cannot suit up behind center on Sunday. It seems ridiculous. But we always talk about this fired coach angle. Mm-hmm. Every sport, when there's a fired coach, they love to play that angle. So no different this week.
Mm.
Art DiCesare. Art, let's look at college football. You got 3 games you want to talk about. Where's the money going? In the Utah State, UNLV, Air Force, UConn, and Notre Dame.
Utah State, UNLV is interesting for a couple of reasons. Sharps laid 4.5 and 5.5 with UNLV. That is now 6. UNLV is 6-point home favorite. But, Joe, you know where I'm going here. The total. Mm-hmm. We opened 70.5. It's now 71.5. How high can we get on this total? It's going to be interesting to keep our eye on that all week. There's another big total out there as well, which I think we'll talk about later in the week. But a 71.5 is eye-opening. Air Force at UConn. Sharps took 8 with Air Force. UConn now a 7-point home favorite. This is another total, 63.5, but they have yet to bet it up. Both teams play to the over. I think eventually we will see some over money here, so keep your eye on that total as well. And Sharps right away laid 10 with Notre Dame. Then they laid 11 this morning. We're now 11.5. Notre Dame is a big, big favorite on the road against a pretty good Pitt team. You know, Pitt is not a team to kind of overlook for Notre Dame, who obviously needs to keep winning to make the college football playoff.
And that's interesting, Art, because you are always going to get Notre Dame public money as we get closer to the game. And you're telling me the Sharps have already bet this up. Could this be a head fake in the works here coming?
It's a great question. And you're right, Joe. Notre Dame, we all know they are a national team. They are a public team. I think the Sharps early just looked at a spot of this is 10. Our numbers indicate bet it there. But you're right. 11.5. Now, we're going to start getting into numbers that are not numbers. 12, 12.5. Those are dead numbers. So it wouldn't shock me if we push even higher and see, hey, does anybody want to take Pitt at 12 or 12.5? Because like I said, those to us are dead numbers. Games aren't landing 12. So we like to maybe play around with dead numbers and see, is anyone respected going to come back on the other side? And then we kind of know if it's a head fake or not.
Art DiCesare joining us. Art, hockey, NBA, and college basketball. Have you seen anything we need to know about?
A couple of college basketball things to throw at you. They're still betting the big favorites. They were betting Florida today against Florida State. They were betting Michigan against Wake. And a public play is Louisville, Kentucky. They're betting a high total over 174, 174.5, 175. They're betting that game over, expecting a lot of points in that rivalry game.
There we go. Now we move our attention to the parlay of the day, and I will start with a hockey play. This is a client bet that I'm giving out. It is the under in the Calgary-St. Louis game. I got 6 late last night when I personally bet this play and released it to my clients. There are 6s out there. It's 80%, 5.5. You get the best line. Shame on you if you don't. Under 6. Art?
I'm going to go hockey as well. Man, I really wanted to play this team in regulation, but the number's just too out of whack. So I'm going to lay the goal and a half with the Avalanche at home. I know the Ducks have been amazing.
Wow.
But it feels like it will end here. Avalanche -1.5 plus 105.
I'm going to go college basketball, and I'm going to take that game. They're expecting points in Louisville and Kentucky are at the Young Center, and majority of those points are going to be scored by Louisville. I'll take Louisville on the money line in one of the oldest and probably best college basketball rivalries that you will see. That place will be out of control here tonight, and Louisville's going to win it.
There we go. Parlay of the day. To fade or not fade. Art, we're going to start with, well, the Green Bay Packers. Here is a team that lost to Carolina at home, and then we expected a real bounce back effort. Not only did they lose to Philadelphia, but their defense obviously showed up, but their offense is a bit of a mess. This team is now 5-3 in third place in their own division, and they are -7.5 on the road this week. I don't know what to make of this team. I don't know whether to fade them or not. Everything suggests that they're going to bounce back. I'm just going to lay off of any game Green Bay's involved in the next couple of weeks. What do you think, Art?
Yeah, I mean, listen, their defense should feast on whoever the Giant quarterback is this week. But it's a healthy number to lay on the road. That's not something you want to be doing week in and week out in the NFL, is laying big numbers. But you said it, Prez. The offense isn't good. They don't have receivers. Love's average. No Tucker Kraft. They can run the ball a little bit. Defense is top shelf. They're going to be a wait-and-see approach. Maybe pick your spots. But, man, I don't know what to really make of this Green Bay team.
Joe?
Can't trust the offense. And just like that, Matt LaFleur's seat is getting absolutely roasting hot here. They are not going to tolerate mediocre play in Green Bay. It's not going to happen here. Early playoff exits. They're supposed to be getting better as the season goes on. I mean, Prez, that is 4 games now where they've scored in the first half. 6, 7, 6, and a goose egg last night. This offense, without Tucker Kraft, is broken. And they lost Dobbs last night. There's nothing. I wouldn't be laying around any key number with this team moving forward. Absolutely not. Defensively, they're great. You saw that last night. Offensively, can't trust them in any way to cover a number.
Guys, let's stick inside of this division and talk a little bit about Chicago and Minnesota at the same time. They're playing against each other. Minnesota's -3. And I think Minnesota might be a bet on team moving forward, and I think Chicago is a fade team moving forward. Look, Chicago has won, I think, 6 of 7, and they're playing the best ball they've played in the horrible pizza era. I just think they're getting it done. It's phony. It's just like they're trying everything in their power to lose games, but are squeaking it out against inferior competition. Art?
Yeah, the Bears, I could see having a wait-and-see approach with them. I don't love Minnesota, but I do like them this week. I think it's a really good spot for them. Obviously, we've already seen the Sharps move that to 3, but I still think even at 3, Minnesota's a good play. I still like their defense at home against, Caleb, who can make some mistakes.
Joe?
Yeah, I am not I don't like Caleb Williams. I think kudos, Ben Johnson. On the surface, it all looks like you've turned things around. But I am not buying it. I think the minute they start playing the Eagles of the world and, the Rams or the Seahawks, I think it's going to get ugly in a hurry. It's good if they're 500 or below, but I cannot trust them with any of the better teams in the league right now, Prez. I am looking anytime they play a good defense to fade them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's talk Buffalo Bills. This is a team that went to Atlanta and really just laid an egg. And we've seen them do this every year under Josh Allen. What we haven't seen is them do it twice. And they really looked horrible this past Sunday against Miami. Let's talk about both those teams real quick. Any chance of either of you getting interested in Miami? They're -2.5 against Washington. And what are your thoughts on Buffalo moving forward? I think Buffalo's a bet on team and Miami a bet against. Art?
Yeah, I agree. I think Buffalo will figure it out, but, you might need to pick your spots with them. Miami's actually probably a good play this week. Washington's a mess. They're still dealing with a million injuries. Miami might roll into that game with a lot of confidence. it's still under a field goal. Miami might not be a terrible look.
Joe?
Keep in mind that game is in Spain, so that's the final international game that we have. Thank goodness. But kudos to Dan Quinn for finally looking at that defense and being like, not exactly what I thought. I'm going to go ahead and take over the defensive play calling because, it's 10 weeks of absolute trash. I guess finally he realized, Art, that maybe the defense isn't that good. But you know what? Neither are the Dolphins here, especially overseas. I'm not buying them one way or the other. And the Bills, they go through this 2 or 3 week stretch every year where you're like, what in the hell are we looking at? And then what are they going to do? They're going to switch offensive coordinators. They did this with the DC a couple of years ago. Now Dable's available. Maybe they bring Dable on to be a consultant. So I think they're going to be fine one way or the other. And it's getting to be that point as well, Prez. We better start bagging. I think buy low on Buffalo and sell high on New England.
I agree, Joe. Guys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will end it there. Look, we can talk about injuries or not injuries. They are who they are. They have who they have. This is a fade team moving forward, Joe.
I don't get what Baker Mayfield goes to the podium and starts ripping his team about not being prepared and coming out of a bye and we weren't focused and yada. I mean, injuries are an issue. Offensive line injuries are an issue. But I still think Todd Bowles and company there, that defense will be able to keep them in games. They will figure it out. I'm still looking to back them, Art. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. And, that Patriot game felt like a playoff game. It had real great intensity. It just felt like a back and forth game. We were watching that in the back of the sportsbook on Sunday going like, wow, this is a top game. And listen, New England is really good, and Tampa was there with them. Tampa had a shot. Baker's going to make you scratch your head sometimes, but I think moving forward, Tampa, you can find spots with them.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Art DiCesare, wonderful stuff, brother. Thanks for doing this. We'll see you tomorrow.
You know it.
Ooh.
Okay. Art DiCesare, everyone. Joe, before we get into business, we got lots still to come. We got Joe's early college football lean, my NFL lean. Joe's going to do the NBA rundown and the college basketball rundown. I'll do the NHL rundown, every game on the board. No mailbag section today. I'm sorry, guys. I was unable to go through the comments yesterday. Joe, it's time for some business, baby. Joe, it's Customer Appreciation Day over at WagerTalk. What does that mean? It means $5 plays. That is correct. $5 plays. I've got an NBA play up tonight. I'm rolling in NBA right now, Joe. I'm on an 8-3 run. I won my play last night. And NBA has just been really, really good to me for about 3 years now. So I have one NBA play up tonight. It's a money line play. I am the most profitable expert in NBA money line bets in the last 3 years. Check that out, only $5. But most importantly, I have an NFL ATS bet. And I understand my NFL season, the last 2 weeks has not gone well. But my NFL ATS bets are the strongest bets probably on the entire site over the last 5 years. These regular season bets are 63% in 4.5 NFL seasons, and I'm 80% this year. That's right, 8-2 on the season in NFL ATS bets. So I got one of those. It's up. It's $5. What do you got going, Joe?
Well, Prez, I've got one college football $5 best bet in Maction tonight. I do have another $5 total in the NFL that you can grab as well. A big way to say thank you here on Customer Appreciation. Absolutely crushing it, Prez. Number one NBA, number one college basketball. I got a all access package. You can hop on board right now and get all of the college basketball plays plus an NBA game. It's we are locked and loaded. We're in the zone, Prez. We're looking to keep it rolling here at WagerTalk.com.
Well, there we go. Okay, Joseph, let's move our attention to our early bets. NFL for me, I'm going to start right off the bat. I got a total for you guys. Seattle and the Rams. The total here is 48. I really like the over, and I understand that both these teams have got quality defenses. I get it. Seattle, they kept Arizona to 22. Not great, but before that, 14, 10, 19, 12. They've kept teams under 20 for over half their games, and the Rams as well. Before San Fran put up 26, they kept New Orleans to 10, Jacksonville to 7, and a depleted Baltimore team to 3. With all that said, the offenses are ticking right now. The LA Rams just put up 42 themselves against the San Fran D that's not bad. They put up 34 against New Orleans, 35 against Jacksonville. That's right. The last 3 games, 34 was their lowest score. As for Seattle, they just put up 44 on Arizona, 38 on Washington, 27 on Houston. They put up 35 on Tampa Bay. Both these offenses are humming along. I think this number is too low. Take over 48, Joe.
I like it there, Prez. I am going to go to an interesting one here. Texas A&M laying nearly 20 points at home against South Carolina, who, by the way, the Gamecocks and Shane Beamer have now fired pretty much everyone on the offensive staff there. Offensive line coach, OC. He is taking over play calling duties because to say it has been a disappointing season for Lenora Sellers is an understatement. But the reality is this South Carolina team has lost just once by more than 20 points, and that was against Vandy when Lenora Sellers actually left the game. Texas A&M has not been home in about a month here. This will be their first game, but this is a huge ask here. I'm not buying it, Prez. I'm going to take the nearly 20 points with South Carolina in this one.
Joe, keep going, brother. NBA rundown. You got it.
All right, let's roll it here as we are looking at a fun night here in the association. It starts with the countdown being on. How long before John Moran is actually traded from the Memphis Grizzlies? Because, well, that team is a hot mess, and they're taking on the New York Knicks at the Garden here tonight. I don't think this number's high enough. Knicks undefeated at the Garden. 9.5, 10 right now is what you can get. The Grizzlies are toast here. They got to figure out what they're doing with him. The Raptors on the road taking on the Brooklyn Nets here. And again, Raptors team total. Not a bad way to look here. There's no way the Nets are going to keep this one close here. At least I don't think. 76ers at home. Almost fully healthy there. Paul George will be back at some point, it feels like, this week. Embiid available. They have split their games so far this year. Both games by a point. I like the Sixers to get it done at home. The Warriors on the road at OKC. They're getting 7.5. You know the public's going to be on OKC, but Steph Curry's back tonight feeling better. I would look to grab the points in this one. Might be a little bit closer than many people think. The Jazz get it done for us last night, getting 7.5 points against Minnesota. They are still home, and they are getting a couple of points from who? The Pacers. Why? Have no idea. Still looking at the Utah Jazz to get it done there. The Nuggets should absolutely trounce the Kings here tonight. 8.5, 9 is that number. And I would not at all be shocked, even at 242.5. Do not be shocked if that game goes flying, and I mean flying, over the total. Much like we had last night with the Miami Heat, Prez, and the Cleveland Cavaliers almost scoring, 300 points if it would have went to a second overtime. And that is your NBA rundown, Prez.
Joe, let's keep moving. NHL, a whole lot of games. Toronto playing Boston. The Leafs have gone over the total 10 straight games. Boston is scoring. We're not going to overthink this. 6.5. Take over the total. I think we'll get to 7 goals pretty easily. Ottawa, minus 120 against Dallas. Total here is 6. I like the under in this game. I do not have an opinion on the side. Carolina, minus 170 against Washington. Washington is in a complete free fall. Carolina coming off of a nice win against the Leafs. I like Carolina, though, here, guys. I think Washington is a shell. I think last year was an aberration. I don't think this team is as good as everyone thinks. I like Carolina in regulation. Montreal and the LA Kings. I like the over. There's 5.5 on tap here. 6 and 5.5 all over the place. I prefer the 5.5 minus 130. Take over the total. Calgary playing St. Louis. I like the under in that game. I prefer you guys get it at 6. Minnesota in regulation against San Jose. Shout out to the Sharks playing exceptional hockey. Max Celebrini playing outstanding as well. With that said, they're not a great team and they're coming off of a nice stretch. I think it's time for a little bit of a decline. Take Minnesota. And it's the same with Anaheim. Shout out to the Ducks. Unbelievable run, really. And then they go and they beat every good team in this run. I mean, every one of them. But now they play Colorado tonight, and I think they're going to have a huge letdown. Art came on the show. He gave out Colorado minus 1.5. I agree with that. I think Colorado gets it done handily. And I like the over in this game as well. I know it's 6.5, but I think we're going to get to 7 goals. Vancouver playing Winnipeg. I like under if you can get to 6. And I like Seattle on the money line against Columbus.
Joe. Like it, Prez. Pretty impressive stuff there. Big card tonight in the NHL. All right, big card in college basketball, too. Great rivalry night here. You've got a lot of games. You got, of course, Florida taking on Florida State here tonight. That is one of the big rivalry games. No more Leonard Hamilton, by the way, at Florida State. They are going to travel to Gainesville to take on the defending national champion. And listen, it's all about the rebuild here with Florida State. Their new coach is all about, well, run, shoot up as many shots as you possibly can, and let's see how it works out. Yeah, that is not going to work against this Florida team here. Would not shock me. It's got blowout written all over it. I'd be laying it with Florida here at home in this spot. And then I mentioned earlier about Kentucky on the road taking on Louisville at the Yum Center here. This is going to be a fun one. This place is one of the greatest rivalries in college basketball. Mark Pope and the Kentucky team here. Second best odds, I believe, in the SEC right now to take it down. But it's the battle of the Bluegrass. We heard from Art earlier that a lot of money is coming to the over in this one here. But I love Pat Kelsey. 0-2 early in his career against this Kentucky team who has won 7 of the last 8 meetings. Yeah, this is a different Louisville team. This is a different era here. I love Louisville to not only win, but likely cover this number here. And you're going to get a chance to see number 1 Michigan hanging out here tonight against Wake Forest at home. Listen, Wake Forest has yet to make the tournament in the last 5 seasons of the Steve Forbes era. I like him. He's a good coach, but he just can't get the players. Certainly it doesn't have the players to match up here against Michigan. I would lay it with them as well, Prez. And that is your college basketball rundown.
There you go, Joe. No mailbag section today. Thank you for doing this show, my brother. We're going to do this again tomorrow, same time. Everybody, please leave some comments. I will be reading them all. I will be responding to them. Joe, let's have ourselves a killer night tonight.
Let's do it.
Thanks, everyone.